Good morning. We finished the book of Ecclesiastes today, and tomorrow we will start the book of the Song of Solomon, or Song of Songs, and it's one more of Solomon's contributions to the Bible. In chapter 10, the first verse just makes me smile. Dead flies make the perfumer's ointment and give off a foul odor. So a little folly outweighs wisdom and honor. But, dead flies, dead animal, they're putrid to our senses for the most part. And, it's one of those things that, it's a statement in here, but it's an obvious truth. We don't need to be told that. Verse 3, even when fools walk on the road, they lack sense, and they show everyone that they are fools. And, you can't change your ways. You are who you are, and fools or people that are stuck in a rut, just continue in that rut, and there isn't much we can do. Verse 10 of chapter 10, if the iron is blunt and one does not know where the edge must exceed more, more strength must be exerted, but wisdom helps you to succeed. And yesterday I was drilling some holes for a pocket screws, and it's the drill bit has a little, a half-inch longer point in the middle. It's just an eighth of an inch diameter than the drill bit, and well, that little point broke off on one, and I put a new bit in, and it was amazing. The new bit was so much sharper. It just, I hardly had to exert any pressure, and I noticed that like on my saw blades and on my chisels and those different tools like that. When they're dull, they don't cut as well. It takes more work, and so I spend time, and especially over on the lathe when I'm turning something. If dull tools, don't cut. They chip. They do the things that you don't want them to do, and so having a sharp edge is so important in so many things, and keeping our minds sharp is, important for us too. We just can't let everything go and just not worry about anything, but to stay on top of things and to make sure that, like your tools are sharp, your oil on your car is changed. You take care of things that way, and everything will be so much better that way. Verse 15 again talks about fools. The toil of fools wears them out, for they do not even know the way to town. And, it's just, it's this vicious circle that, no matter what you do, it's just, it's like a dog chasing its tail. And if it catches it, it just doesn't know what to do. But it's, we get so caught up sometimes in things that are meaningless, and we need to be careful of those. Verse 18, though through sloth the roof sinks in, and through indolence the house leaks. Again, taking care of your properties, paying attention to what's going on, and not letting things go into complete lack and ruin. And I know one time a person had commented to me about, there was a man who didn't believe in painting his buildings at all. And every building on his land was just weathered and just bare wood. And, it was just, why doesn't he take care of his property? Doesn't he have any pride in it? And when you see an old building, and just the other day when I was driving, I saw, these old buildings that don't get care, they continue to shrink and to tip over and to go to pot. And so without care, and things aren't going to last. And granted, many of those farmsteads are deserted. There's nothing, no one living there or anything, and it's a part of things, the way that things are. But for your house, you want it to be, you don't want the roof to be leaking. You don't want the windows to be broken out. And so we take care of things, and when a problem comes up, you address it. Chapter 11 starts out, says, my version says, send out your bread upon the waters, and after many days you'll get it back. So it's kind of take a chance. But then verse 2, divide your means 7 ways or 8, for you don't know when disaster might happen, is, invest wisely. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. So you spread your bread out on the waters. You take a chance on things, but you don't put everything, in the same thing. And that's, your investment profiles, your investments and stuff. I mean, most of us have someone kind of watching over those things, but you don't only own one stock, or you don't only own CDs or certificates or T-bills and that kind of stuff. I mean, you have a diverse portfolio that way, and so you take a chance on things. And I think about like people that say took a chance on Microsoft or on Google or on Bing or these different things, and years ago, I mean, they've made a big fortune. They took a chance, but very few of them put everything they had in those investments. Verse 5 of chapter 11, just as you do not know how breath comes to the bones in the mother's womb, you don't know all the works of God. And that's how I just often marvel at how these two cells, a sperm and an egg, can come together and they start to grow. Well, how does some of them know to grow hair or to be fingers or fingernails, or to be an eye? I mean, it's just the miracles of our bodies is just totally amazing, and we don't understand how that works, and how do some cells know to become blood and to make the blood vessels or to be nerves, and it's just the beauty of God's creation is all around us, and that's what it said. The last part of that verse, who makes everything? God makes everything, and we're in awe. And this morning, our yard was sunshine for quite a bit, and I got up and I looked, and I could see the 3/4 mile down the road was cloudy, or foggy rather, and it's just the miracles of creation and how everything works, and the amount of rain that a cloud can hold up in the air, and it's just again, creation is just such an amazing thing. Verse 10 of chapter 11, banish anxiety from your mind. I mean, that's really good advice. Put away pain from your body. I mean, we can't really do that on our own. I mean, we've got lots of medications that can help us with aspirin and Tylenol and, so many different things that way. And as well as I do that when your body isn't hurting, you can get a lot more done. You have a better outlook, a more positive look on things. And so to put away that pain from your body, to put away the anxiety. I mean, if we continually worry about, what tomorrow is going to be, or what, there are just so many things we can worry about and fuss and fret about. But if we can somehow come to peace of mind, it just, our lives are so much more comfortable, and we are much more comfortable. Chapter 12 talks about old age and how we become older and looking back on things. And then again, verse 8, we come back to that vanity of all vanities, and just a reminder that any and all stock that we put in our lives here really doesn't put a whole lot of emphasis on things. And I said early on when we started looking at this book that if you read the end of the book, you don't have quite such a negative maybe look on the rest of it. Verses 13 and 14, the end of the book. The end of all matter, it has been heard. Fear God, keep his commandments, for that is the whole duty of everyone. For God will bring every deed into judgment, including every secret thing, whether good or evil. So the final words of advice are fear God, respect God, trust God. and know that God knows all about us. Every secret, every thought, everything we do, God knows. And the judgment that comes through God is through the eyes of Jesus Christ. And we are forgiven sinners. God's blessings again today.